After months of planning, information sessions, and investment in plane tickets, hotel rooms, and mosquito nets, began the journey of thousands of kilometers for the start of a 19-day adventure across the ocean and into the immensely different culture of India. On an early December 27th morning, a group of 8 students, which included 6 King's College students and a King's College professor, began their journey in studying abroad in India. With a flight out of JFK and after hours of being in the air and stuck in an e-visa line, we finally found ourselves in New Delhi meeting up with our program's other director at the airport. Without wasting much time, the following day was an early start to catch a 7 a.m. train from Delhi to Amritsar. Amritsar is located in the Punjab area, a couple of hours away from Delhi. It is also the origin location for the young religion of Sikhism. After being in the train for a couple of hours, we found ourselves enjoying a nice meal, including a fantastic beverage known as lassi, and met up with our tour guide, Ajay. Ajay informed us of many of the facts of the city while we rode along in our bus, weaving through the traffic. Ajay explained some of the stats and facts about the city of Amritsar.
We have a population here, 1.4 million. In which we have 60% Sikh people, 30% Hindus, and 10% Muslims and Christian community living in this city. And if we compare the population of the whole Amritsar, adding a rural area also, then it becomes 2.7 million. This is the second biggest city of Punjab.
Ajay briefly talks about some of the Sikh history in Amritsar.
Sikhism is the youngest religion of the world, which was started by Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak was the first guru of the Sikhism, and even he is said to be the starter of this, founder of this religion. He was born in a Hindu family in 1469, and later in the 15th century he started this religion. He founded this religion. He became the first Sikh man. He started keeping long hair, long beard, and he used to preach among the people that we are students of the God, we are disciples of the God, we are here messengers of the God to spread the message of peace, brotherhood, equality among the people.
He goes on to elaborate on some of the aspects of the Sikh religion, including the history of the gurus and how the story of the Golden Temple came to be.
In Sikhism we have 10 prophets. First was Guru Nanak, second Guru Angad, third Guru Amar Das, fourth was Guru Ram Das. He was the son-in-law of the third Guru. He founded this city in 1577, and the name of the city was named upon his name, Ramdaspura. Fourth Guru's son became the fifth Guru, Guru Arjan Dev. So fourth Guru constructed a holy pool in the temple. There was no temple at that time. There was a jungle at that time over there. And in 1580, there was a leper man. A leper was a man who was passing through his wife from that passage. And they stopped under a tree where there was a small pond. And when that leper man took that bath in that pond, he was cured from the diseases of his body. So after that, Guru Ramdas made that statement that whosoever will take dip in this pond will get cured from the diseases. So after that, he and his local villagers over there dig that pond into a big pool, into a big tank, which is named as nowadays Pool of Nectar, of Immortality. From 1580 till 1588, the Holy Lake was constructed over there. And from 1588 till 1601, the temple was been constructed in the center of that holy lake.
After having 10 living gurus, the 10th proclaimed that the final master, the 11th, would be in the form of the holy text. Ajay explains more about the 11th guru who resides in the Golden Temple.
So when the 10th guru passed away, he commanded all his Sikh people that after me you will not make any human being as a guru. You will consider our holy book as our 11th Guru. So that book is in the Golden Temple. Its copies are there all over, and people usually go there to worship their 11th Guru over there, which is their holy book, Guru Granth Sahib. So over there we usually have a ceremony which we say as hymns. Hymns are going over there starting early at 2:30 And then they organize a ceremony, which is they bring that guru there and place it in the center, which is covered. It is not shown. It is covered with a beautiful cloth, and people come there, public come there as they come in a king's court, and they pay their obedience towards their guru by paying donations even, or paying respect by bending on their knees and touching their head to the ground floor. For you guys, it's not compulsory to bend on your knees. You can only join your hands and go yourself. It's like a wish to the guru.
After dinner, the group was loaded up into the van and headed to the Sikh Golden Temple. Men and women were required to be in long pants and sleeves with their heads covered in accordance with the Sikh practice of having the faithful's heads covered if they are not in their own homes. There was a little pond of water that people must walk through so their feet would be clean upon entering the temple. Scarves were supplied to those who did not have proper head coverage, and guards walked around the temple, making sure people's feet were properly cleaned and heads remained covered. Once these conditions were all met, we were all able to walk into quite the sight. The Golden Temple is quite the experience on all the senses upon crossing the gates and laying your eyes upon it. It was an immensely magical place in the night lights. The golden covering of the temple just sparkles like a star, twinkling proudly as a symbol of the Sikh religion among the slight chaos of the surrounding city area of the temple. The sounds of hymns and prayers proudly being sung by the people, as others read from the holy book, with someone reading the book at any given time of the day. The air had a crisp smell that was enhanced by the free communal eating area that provided food for the people. The food was simple, but the real taste was in the communion that people received after going into the actual temple area. People also got the chance to get up and feel the gems built into the artwork that added to the temple's beauty. The next day was spent learning about the not-so-pleasant aspects of European involvement in India. We saw a place where British soldiers opened fire on Indians who were peacefully assembled trying to organize a future protest. Most people don't see this side of history in the West, and it was just fascinating to really see that history truly does have more than one voice for any given story in the past. The area has markers in various languages explaining the significance of the area, with a giant bullet-shaped monument in the middle. What was even more incredible than seeing the bushes trimmed to look like the soldiers, and a painting that depicted the soldiers opening fire on hundreds of innocent men, women, and children, and a defaced military leader, was seeing the wall of bullet impacts and the well. Out of thousands of bullets fired upon the people, approximately 20 missed, and can be visibly seen where they somehow missed the people and ended up in the wall. Even if people were lucky enough to miss the rain of bullets, some decided to jump in a rather deep well to escape death by the bullets. Unfortunately, 120 bodies were recovered in this well, and it was never specified to us if these bodies were all the people who were actually shot, or if they were just people who drowned and died by the falling bodies of those who were. The entire day was not just spent on focusing on the dismal parts of Indian history in Amritsar. We also got the chance to see the simple museum for Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Singh played a significant role in the unification of the Sikhs as a secular Maharaja. The museum included many pieces that told the story of the Maharaja's life, from his childhood to a wedding, as well as a diorama of the gold that was donated by Singh to be used for the Golden Temple. The museum even had a panoramic display of almost life-size statues of some of the battles Maharaja Singh was involved in, which included some sounds to even give a better feeling of what it was like to be on the battlefield. Not all parts of history were given the treatment we had come to associate with significant historical figures. We also ended up getting to see the ruins of what was a summer palace for a Maharaja. It was baffling to see that it was in rather poor condition. It truly had no other historical significance other than being a palace that the Maharaja and his family stayed at, but it was mind-blowing to see that it was in just a dismal state. Our time in Amritsar came to an end. We said goodbye to Ajay and Amritsar, and soon enough we found ourselves back onto the train to New Delhi. Before we got got to experience the crazy celebration of the New Year in New Delhi at our hotel, we did manage to get another treat. The area where we had lunch on New Year's Eve had a snake charmer, the very same one that Dr. O'Connor, our group leader, had seen when she had previously visited India in 2012. For a couple hundred rupees, we all got a chance to see a real-life snake charmer, with one of our own getting a snake draped around her in the process.
No dangerous. No bite, no teeth.
No.
This is no teeth.
Oh, jeez. No, Ronnie. No.
Oh, Ronnie! You have to wash your hands after that. No dangerous. No.
Go, Ronnie.
No hands.
You got it.
Oh my god, it's moving.
The snake was really bored. Like, this.
The snake looks offended.
Tune in next time to hear more about our trip as the new year began with a few adventures in Delhi, get to know some more about the Mughal influence in India, as well as learn more about the individuals on this trip. For WRKC in Asha in Agartala, India, I'm Kristina Atienza.